Don't Panic is a comedy podcast. The hosts and their guests are in no way experts, and they make absolutely no effort to sound like they are. Occasionally, they might give some sound advice, but I wouldn't take their word for it. These people are not to be trusted.
Stop trusting me!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to your favorite fantasy football podcast, Don't Panic, the Fantasy Football Edition. Here we are we just ended the second week of fantasy football goodness, and boy, oh boy, am I glad to have it back. Oh man, Chris, how are you feeling about fantasy football this year?
Feeling great because I am not responsible for any teams this year.
I know, and you just get to sit back and enjoy the action. Not the regular football action, because screw that.
Yep.
But you get to enjoy watching us pretend that we have fantasy football teams. Who's your favorite team so far this year?
The Swole Swallows.
Good call. That's my team. You should like my team. My team's the best team.
Knife next to my chest really agrees with you.
Yes, it does. Swole Swallows, 1-1, best fantasy record ever of all time. Like, just already off to a good start. They're going to go undefeated this year, except for that one defeat that they already had, because that doesn't count.
Relatively undefeated.
I mean, it was Kurt, and my team was asleep. They didn't realize that it started last week. They thought it started like the current week. But
classic nap struggle.
In all honesty, it's just like, you know how it is, right? Aaron Rodgers just like, oh, you know what? It's the Seahawks. I should probably give this to them. And yeah,
they won the Super Bowl last year. It's okay. I'll give
at this point, I might as well just give up. We'll start next week, guys. Good try. Good effort.
It's like a false start, but a whole game.
Exactly. The whole game's a false start. And now that we've concluded our fantasy football coverage, welcome to Don't Panic. This is the second episode we've had thus far, and we are now officially on iTunes. Chris, this is awesome stuff, yeah?
It is incredible. We got the confirmation email literally right before we started recording this, and I could not be more excited about it.
I am so stoked. Like, that happened right before we started recording, and we danced around the studio, got really stoked, excited, things happened, and let's just say we're all the better for starting the podcast. So, awesome. So on that good news, let's start with, let's talk about the past week. What's happened in the past week? What have we both been doing the past week?
Well, I can make a safe bet here and say we've both been playing Destiny.
Oh, yes.
A whole
Plenty
lot.
of it.
Also together, which is fun.
Yeah, it's fun. It is a great co-op game. Now, it hasn't been getting the best reviews, but
Really?
Critics are always going to be critics. And you can like something and be critical of it.
Yes.
Like, you can realize that something has faults and still love it. Like, it's something that's great. And Destiny's one of those things for me. I'm really enjoying it. It's a better cooperative, or it's better at being cooperative, but it's Halo. It's a lot like Halo, just a new universe, a new set of people and enemies, and I think it's just a fun time.
I completely agree. The customization you have here with your subclasses and classes and all the gear you get, it speaks to my nerdier ways, and I'm very thrilled about that.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
And so I'm rolling to Titan, so I just punch things.
It's true.
Like, in all honesty, I'm basically playing this game just as a berserker, just punching people in the face. Chris saw I killed.
It's true.
I punched 30 guys in a row last night while we were playing, and
That's true.
I wouldn't apologize for it.
No, nor should you.
No,
I may or may not stab people. It's okay.
That's true. As a hunter, you stab a lot of
I stab
things.
a lot of people.
Yeah, but it's okay, guys. It's still rated T for Ting. So, Chris, something that's been going on in my past week that probably hasn't been going on in your past week, I have not been able to sleep. Like, I have been sleeping really poorly. One night, I went to bed at maybe like 11 and woke up at 3 in the morning, and I realized I had fallen asleep on the couch. I had no idea, but I had fallen asleep on the couch. Totally forgot that, so it was the weirdest thing waking up.
Wow.
And couldn't go to bed until 7 o'clock in the morning for like an hour before work.
That barista life.
It seriously is that barista life. It was really difficult. Chris.
Wow.
I honestly haven't had trouble sleeping in the past.
Just this past week?
This is one of these moments where I'm going to ask you for advice.
Oh. You trust me?
No,
Good
but
call.
I'm still
All right, I'm
asking
ready.
you regardless.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. Did you or did you not used to live with someone who used to fall asleep in the strangest of places and the strangest of times?
That is true. There is an Instagram account and a Tumblr account dedicated to @SleepySean.
That is true. Yep, I've been following that for years now, actually.
Yeah.
Now, is it possible you may have caught this disease once Sean got married
Ooh.
and recently in the summer? Congratulations, Sean and Bree. We love you guys so much.
Congratulations. Actually, on that note, I think he fell asleep last time they were in the hot tub. That's the latest post I saw. They were in the hot tub in their public, like, condominium type deal.
Yeah.
And he was
Just passed out.
He's just passed out.
Pretty sure it's dangerous.
Oh, I bet it is. If he had long hair, that would be super dangerous because you never know when it's going to get caught in the jets. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Sleepy Sean, I might have caught.
I think you got this whole thing.
Oh, what was the word for it? I totally forgot the word for it.
Mono?
No, it's not mono. I did not catch his mono.
Okay. I know.
No, what is it? Gosh, why am I forgetting?
Lethargy.
No.
Leprosy.
Wow, I'm going to sound like such an idiot. It was like, not sleep apnea, but...
Sleep deprivia.
All right, we're moving on. Just help me out here. What's
All right,
going
fair
on?
enough. Okay, I don't know. Well, one thing has changed. Destiny's released. So...
I don't think that's single-handedly responsible here.
Well, it's the controlled variable, Brandon. So... something new this week. I don't know, Brandon. Have you been feeling extra stressful? Extra stressed?
Well, I mean...
How's school?
Oh, it's great in
Yeah.
that I don't have school.
Okay, so...
I've graduated.
You should be fine. Oh, that's right. I forgot.
You filthy liar.
That's true. Okay. So, but really though, in trying to sleep better, don't keep playing Destiny until 11 o'clock like I do. Like, I'm trying to cut back to, even on like watching TV or on my like laptop, iPad, phone, you name it, trying to get away from a screen for a while. This is pretty good advice to college kids. This is like probably the only time I'll give good advice to people our age. Yeah, that impacts you. It dries my eyes out. I have to like look away from the screen for like 15 seconds and readjust. It's kind of interesting. But yeah, maybe you want to consider turning off your electronics. Or wait a second. No. Stop drinking coffee at like 5 p.m.
I'm not drinking coffee at like... Well, okay.
Every time I've been to your house, you offer me coffee at like 7 p.m.
Yeah, but that's just because I want someone to know my pain, okay? I'm not trying to harm you. I just want you to know how much I'm harming myself.
You just want forced sympathy?
Yes.
Or like another person on your drug?
No.
Well, caffeine, really, technically.
Can it be both? Can I want both?
Yes, you can want both.
Because I want both.
Okay. You can have your cake and eat it too. You can have your coffee and drink it too. I hope things work out for you. I really hope so too. I'll be checking up on you. I will send you late night messages.
Don't send me late night messages. That's like the worst idea.
We'll keep your phone on silent then. It won't be an issue.
Oh, okay. We're good then. So, Chris, any new developments this past week?
Well, I've may or may not have made a few changes to my schedule.
Oh, yeah? What kind? Did you take more classes?
I'm not taking Greek anymore. Yeah, then just put that out there.
Couldn't handle it.
Hey. I did not make my decision off of motivation. I didn't look at this and be like, oh, I'm going to be have an easier semester now so I can play more Destiny or hang out with more people. But no, I made it because I realized all my other classes are A, for my major and required for me to graduate. And I will have to actually pass these classes. And then I'm interested in them as well. And Greek, I found the concept very interesting. And it's so cool and so interesting. It's just like, if you want to be good at it, it's like 4 hours a day. Especially because I'm really bad at languages. Mm-hmm. So I was struggling. I looked at it and I was like, okay, you know what? I'm still technically enrolled in 18 units. Because I picked up 2 different classes.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I'm also taking a bio major specific course. Mm-hmm. So I'm still a little interesting, a little flavor to my communication.
Okay.
Work.
All right. I'll allow it. Which brings us to our next thing on the air. Actually, we're going to introduce a new segment. Try it out this year. Email us back, leave us feedback, let us know how you like this segment. Now, we're both fans of this website known as Reddit. Reddit is basically like, imagine that all of the internet is a newspaper. You've got the finance section, you've got the entertainment section, you've got the news section. Now imagine that Reddit, the website, is the front page of this newspaper that is the internet. Imagine that. Can you imagine that, Chris?
I'm imagining it right now. It seems like it is also a very terrifying place to be.
It also, yeah. So with that summary, that definition being understood, there's one section of Reddit that we've come to find, discover, stumble upon, called Ask Reddit, in which people address all of the users of Reddit and say, hey, what's your thoughts on this? Who's your favorite superhero? Can you give me advice on this? All kinds of stuff like that.
Yeah.
All right, so Ask Reddit. Here's the first one. Let's give it a shot.
All right.
What is an obvious yet overlooked sign that someone is into you? Okay, Chris, why don't you roll with that?
Interesting. Okay. All right. Well, there are a lot of different signs. Probably some nonverbals here. It's a little communication term, basic one there. It's pretty fun. So it could be some eye contact, like, I don't know the whole, like, keeping your feet angled toward them is a thing. I think that's just more like, hey, I'm comfortable standing here. I don't care my toes are pointed towards you. It does not mean I like you. I'm against that one.
I don't know. I only point my toes with purpose.
Are you a purposeful toe pointer?
With incredible purpose.
Wow.
So keep an eye out on my toes, ladies.
I will too. So
don't worry, I'm mindful enough not to point my toes at you.
Just watch those toes, Brennan.
Oh god.
All right. Well, I'd overlooked sign. You know what? Let's go with the obvious here. If she's talking to you, she's probably interested in you. I'm just gonna come out and say it.
Absolutely, 10 times out of 10. If she even acknowledges you with a brief glance, you are the apple of her eye.
60% of the time, every time leads to marriage.
Especially if you're at a certain campus.
That may or may not be where we're hosting this.
That may or may not be known for Ring by Spring.
Well, it's like any Christian campus.
It really is.
It really is.
It really is. Cool.
Whatever.
That's
good for them.
Hey, it's a thing.
It is a thing.
Yeah.
It has become a thing.
So that being said, let me give some advice, some words of wisdom here. What's an obvious yet overlooked sign that someone's into you? Well, it really depends gender to gender.
That's a good point.
If you want to know that, like, for example, ways that I show people that I'm into them, I start talking about things that I know they're really interested in. Like, if I meet someone that really likes books, I'll bring up the book that I'm writing called The Fantastical Life of Brandon Calderon, starring Brandon Calderon and ghostwritten by Brandon Calderon. And forward by...
Brandon Calderon?
No.
Oh.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No. Why would I write my own forward? That's so egotistical.
Possibly narcissistic?
No. The forward's by John Malkovich.
Oh.
One of the greatest authors of our times. And on the end, it's got excellent book reviews by none other than Paul Giamatti. Why does it always have to be about me?
I'm not sure, Brandon. You're writing your own book about you and ghostwriting it by you.
What's wrong with that?
Isn't that an autobiography?
It can also be a work of fiction.
Fair enough.
It's an autobiographical work of fiction.
Okay. That actually sounds really interesting.
It's also a graphic novel.
Is the cat Brandon make an appearance?
No.
No?
We must never speak of this.
My apologies. I'm sorry, cat Brandon. Don't scratch me.
As I was saying, I talk about, I know that they're well read and that they like books. I talk only about my book and I dominate the conversation because she really wants to hear about new things that she hasn't heard about yet. Yeah. So I'll just go on about my book like I just did. That is a clear and obvious sign. If I just keep talking and don't let you even get a word in edgewise, it means I really dig you and I like your style.
Nice.
So,
well, hey, hopefully that will help this Reddit user.
Yeah, I think that is enough to help them out, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. This next question is from K3. If two Canadians accidentally bump into one another, how do they decide who apologizes last?
I'm pretty sure this is a paradox.
Yeah? Go on about that.
I'm fairly certain that it becomes an infinity loop. And
That they just keep apologizing over and over?
Like they will walk to their destination while apologizing. So I think this is when like dominant personalities come into effect, and wherever the dominant personality was planning on going, that's where the less dominant personality will then follow them while continuously apologizing the whole way through.
Okay, so let's role play this out.
Yes.
You're the less dominant apologizer, and I'm the more dominant apologizer.
Okay.
So who begins?
I believe.
I just ran over your foot. But
Oh,
you
I would
also
say I'm sorry.
you
Yeah.
also caused very, very minor damage to my tire and might have thrown my entire car out of alignment. So
I would feel really bad about that. Wow.
Okay, so you would start?
I would look you straight in the eye and be like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry my foot was there.
I would roll down my window while driving away and say, I'm sorry.
And I'd say, I'm sorry too. I'm glad we're both sorry.
I would pull the car over, exit through the window, walk over to you, say, hey, I'm sorry.
I would then break eye contact from feeling a little intimidated and look down and say, I'm sorry.
I would give you a great big hug and say, I'm sorry. And don't you dare say you're sorry to me ever again. Don't.
I'm sorry.
No. I would then beat you into submission while apologizing.
Perfect. Brandon, you know a fun fact here?
What's that?
Ready for a fun fact? Did you know our radio manager is Canadian?
We're going to get kicked off the air so fast.
Well, now you do. So,
Well, at least he'll apologize about it.
oh, relevance. Okay. There you go. Hey, Jackson, if you ever actually do listen to this, well, we love you so much.
Hey, Jackson, thanks again for all this you've done for us. You know, I appreciate it.
Very nice of you.
Yeah. And
I think that's all we have to say about that.
sorry about
Before we
being
get
Canadian, eh?
So, eh.
All right. Yeah, no, but really sorry about that. Okay, Chris, why don't you hit us with another Ask Reddit?
All right, I'm looking at this one right here. We have a Reddit user asking for advice about overly sweaty palms.
Oh, gosh. I know this.
Personal experience?
No, from a friend.
Oh.
There's a friend of mine. We would play video games all the time. His palms, so sweaty. Oh, my word. Like just like a swamp of sweat every time that we pass controllers.
Gross. Okay, so I'm sure he knows of how bad his issue is, but what advice would you give him from firsthand dealing with this?
I would say wear gloves because that's nasty. That's so bad. Or I would say get a layer of skin peeled off. That, like, no, nothing weird. Come on, let's be honest here. But like spend a little too much time in the sun, but only your hands. Peel off that top layer because everyone knows that it's only the top layer that produces sweat. So if you remove the top layer because it peeled because of sunburns,
Yeah.
then you're not going to have any sweat glands there anymore. And instead you'll sweat out your, the top of your forehead like a civil human being.
Like your eyeballs. Okay, probably not.
I thought those were tears. Are you telling me that those are sweats?
I was always told they were sweats.
Okay.
So as a kid, I was always told, hey, boys don't sweat out their eyes.
So I didn't cry 3 times at that wedding.
No.
I sweated 3
You sweated
times.
3 times from your eye orifices.
Well, it was pretty warm, and I was in a suit.
Disgustingly hot.
It was gross.
Well.
But the wedding was nice,
It was nice.
but the sweat was gross. Sorry, it was sweat. I almost said tears.
No, yeah, you're living wrong.
Thank you
Living
for correcting me.
plain wrong. You're
Thank
so
you
welcome.
for correcting me.
Sometimes I can offer good advice to you, Brandon. But I was thinking maybe just tape a nice towel around his hands
That's good.
permanently.
Oh, that's great.
Like use like 5 rolls of duct tape.
I would even go as far as to say Gorilla Glue,
Oh,
because that's like right on the surface there.
that's true.
It's not even like taping around it. It's like it's there.
And I think if you
It
ever
seals it in.
it really does. Wow. And wow, that's a really good idea. And if it ever actually did come off, probably like, 10 years down the line, you'd probably get rid of not one, but like 4 layers of skin.
Ooh, that sets him up for success.
Yeah, you would definitely not have sweaty palms anymore.
All right. Yeah, I think it's good. I think that solves the sweaty palms epidemic.
I know. We need to get this out there.
Mm-hmm. All right. So let's look at some sweet tweets. At Shay Stacks asks, how do you tell someone you like them? # need advice.
Wow.
Huh.
That seems to fit really well with our Reddit.
Is this a dating episode?
It might be.
I sure hope not. Let's go on. All right. What do you take away from this?
What was my take? How do you tell someone you like them? Usually with words. I think words
That's
are a
good.
pretty good indication of how to tell someone you like them.
Incredible start here.
Yes. Or, no, I really like words. Use your words. Words are important. Words are part of language. Symbols and meaning. It's part of communication.
That's good. Oh, that's fantastic advice. Yeah, symbols and meaning. I would go with more just body language, really.
Yeah.
A lot of winks.
Okay.
That tells someone that I'm interested. Just a lot of... It's not a video podcast, but, just I was winking right then. And maybe even, let's see, like Arrested Development, like a Lucille wink. Mouth like wide open in a smile and a creepy wink. That tells them something's going on and it might be love.
And it might be worth checking out.
Exactly.
Do you think winks are more effective with or without the trench coat?
Without.
Without the trench coat?
The trench coat, I think, is a little too much. I think that sends a different kind of weird message, not the love weird message.
But the I'm a dangerous predator message.
Yeah, and we don't want that. We
don't
want
want that
nothing to do with that. It's not associated with the podcast. It's
Shay Stacks.
No thanks.
Not good advice for you.
What I would do is hugs. Hugs are great. And in my circle of friends, hugs are okay. And you see, the thing is, when it's the opposite gender, it's always side hugs. It's like, oh, hey, this is a safe place.
Yep.
If you want to tell someone you like them, be bold. Hug them a normal way. Hug them as you would another person of the same gender. Just like a nice bro hug. Just 3 pats on the back. That tells them you're beyond treating them just as a peer.
You're treating like one of the boys.
You're treating them as one of the boys. That's because that's what I do to tell people
that you're interested in them. Wow, Brian, that's really insightful. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Do you want to?
So yeah, I would go with the winks and the bro hugs.
Winks and bro hugs.
At Mr. Migley? I don't know. No. Ugh, I wish girls would want to make out with me. And then there's a whole like progression of sad faces. One of them's teary. One of them's actually angry. One of them's really angry about anyway. #lonely. #hopeless. I read it as homeless the first time. #depressed. #feeling ugly. #need advice. Oh, this guy's Twitter profile picture is fantastic. Oh, it shows him like a little like kid, maybe 6 years old, not 6th grade, 6 years old. And he's got Blues Clues in the background. It's total J.C. Penney type setup. Yes. Blues is just chilling. You got Mr. Salt, Mrs. Salt, Mr. Pepper, and Paprika in the background. And
Paprika was a character?
Paprika was like the baby. Paprika was the child of Salt, Mr. Salt, and Mrs. Pepper. Wait, scratch that, reverse it. But because when you mix salt and pepper together, you get paprika, right?
Obviously.
An orange-colored spice that looks nothing like either of the two. I don't understand.
Oh, my knowledge of genetics says that's true.
Everything I learned in biology points to the affirmative.
Yep.
Great. So this guy clearly needs our advice. How do we... I don't want to help him.
I actually don't want to either. I feel like this is a situation where the worst advice we can give them is just not give them any advice.
Yeah. I think I'm just going to leave this guy to fend for himself.
Well,
I
first of all,
kind of just wanted to read it.
I'm glad you did. I really want to hear that. And his profile picture, that's very interesting. Is he 6 years old?
He probably is, and that's why I really don't want to help him. He's too young to be making out with chicks,
Yeah,
dude.
that's weird, man.
Like, at least wait until like you're 18.
Yeah, at least.
At least 21. Like
25 so you can rent a car.
bar minimum age 30.
Wow, okay, yeah. Get 3 decades under your belt going.
That way you know.
You would...
You know when it's the right person. It's like, that's a girl I want to kiss on the face.
Oh, yeah, right in the face.
Right there. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So
sorry.
moving on. Viri Diaz.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that's, it's got an S and 2 Z's. That's how it's pronounced. All right.
Fiery Diaz.
She tweets this photo of this purple handbag and says, yes or no. Hashtag need advice. Hashtag marked by Mark Jacobs. Hashtag Mark Jacobs. Hashtag I have no idea how to pronounce that. Hashtag bag. Hashtag handbag. Hashtag shopaholic. Hashtag shopping. Hashtag fashion. Hashtag purple. It's pretty cute. Chris, can you verify that this is indeed a cute handbag?
I will not. I will not verify that.
Chris, I thought I taught you in your sense of fashion sense. Everything you learned was from me, and you're disagreeing with me right now? What's going on, bro? What do you think? Tell me why. Tell me why I'm wrong.
I did not learn your love for purple. Also, that's
I'm ashamed of you.
fairly disgusting. I really hope that you do not buy that one
Hey,
back.
here's the deal. Here's the deal.
Yes. Yeah, Brandon?
It's not disgusting.
It's not.
You're disgusting.
Okay. I'm the worst. I'm the filth.
That is the single cutest handbag I've ever seen.
I feel like Barney would have that handbag. And not Barney from How I Met Your Mother.
I was thinking of Barney from How I Met Your Mother. I'm like,
No.
are you sure you're talking about his character?
Or Neil Patrick Harris.
Yeah, it does look like Barney as a handbag. It looks like Barney was slain to create this handbag.
Pelts it into this nice,
Yeah.
lovely leather handbag.
Yeah, he was.
Dinosaurs have pelts, right?
In memoriam this year for the Oscars, Barney died this past year, lived a long life to 2014, and Telly was pelted for this Marc Jacobs handbag.
Hashtag Mark Jacobs.
Okay, agree to disagree on this one. My advice
Fair
is
enough.
yes. Chris's advice is no. Take that for what you will. Keep on shopping, you shopaholic. All right, at Tally G. Tally G.
Fair enough.
At Tally G says, I'm babysitting, so do I stop these kids from hitting each other or nah? Hashtag need advice.
Or nah.
Not even like, or do I maybe cut in because I need to be a responsible adult? Or
Nah.
do I maybe stop them because I'm responsible for their well-being and safety? Or I should probably stop them from this knife fight that they're about to have? Or maybe I shouldn't have substituted these Nerf darts for real airsoft guns? But instead, nah.
Yeah.
Roll with it, Chris. What do you think?
It depends. Are they practicing martial arts? In that sense, maybe you're uncultured and they're just practicing and they need to work on their taekwondo.
Could be.
And most likely, you should probably stop them from hitting each other or you're going to get fired and probably sued.
Okay. All right. Counterpoint.
Counterpoint, yes.
If they're boys, boys will be boys.
Boys will be boys. And girls just want to have fun.
That's the default answer to this. Boys will be boys.
Boys will
And
be
yeah,
boys.
you're right. Girls just want to have fun. If it's a cat fight, if it's girls just beating on each other, okay. Girls just want to have fun as long as they're having fun.
As long as they're having
As
fun.
long as at least one of them is having
Well,
fun.
one of them is probably having fun.
What?
That's all we ask.
All we need is one. Now, what if...
Especially if they're siblings. You only need one.
That's not what... Sure. Now, if it's boys, boys will be boys. There's nothing you can do. You
Fair
give
enough.
them their Nerf swords. Whatever it is, if it's dangerous, just replace it with Nerf swords. they won't even miss whatever they were playing with. They'll totally forget it and pretend that they're knights.
Yep.
Because I wish I had a brother so I could do that growing up.
Me too, Brandon.
But instead, I got my sister who hit me over the head with a broom handle.
No way.
That's a true story.
Oh, that's fantastic. I will ask about that next time.
It was a long time ago, though, so I've forgiven
year.
her. I just like to bring it up on occasion.
That's good.
When I have an audience, really.
Perfect. Well,
so, you know what? Having grown up with a sister that would hit me, and of course I wouldn't hit back because I was a gentleman even back then, I would say, gosh, they're not your kids. You should probably stop them.
yeah, it's probably your responsibility. You were paid to babysit these kids that are not yours, and you should probably fix this.
Babysitting. Yeah, babysitting isn't called Netflix binging for a reason.
Although it's kind of like the subscript. It's like the subtitle.
It's like babysitting, but when they're asleep, Netflix binging.
Yes. Yeah. But Brandon, for real though, I really did wish that we had Nerf swords growing up.
Oh gosh.
Like,
Yes,
it was
please.
such a better alternative than like sticks or like the wooden swords you would buy from medieval times
Or brooms.
or brooms in your situation.
It would have been such a much better, safer alternative, and I would have had more fun with that.
Yeah.
I
I'd
would.
swing it harder.
Yeah, exactly, and inflict the same amount of damage.
Totally.
Yeah, it's just disguised.
And it totally is.
Let's go to a couple emails.
All right.
All right, True Blood fan 99 says, I want to know if you think Eric Northman is cuter than Bill Compton. All right, so I did a little Googling.
Oh, good job, Brandon.
Here we are, Chris.
Okay.
Let me pull up the photos. Bill Compton. Boom. There we go. Now, in my professional opinion, looks like Paul Rudd meets Kevin Spacey. At least in that photo right there. See that?
That's spot on.
Do you see it? Do you see the premature balding that's about to go down in his near future?
That part on the top that's not really intentional.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And then just like the intensity of the face,
Yeah.
but still it being comical at the same time, especially this part where there's like blood from his eyes. I don't know. I guess it's from the photo.
I guess it's part of the show.
I don't know. Anyway,
This is really
looks like a mixture of the two. I'm going to say not bad.
Not bad. Not bad. I think the Paul Rudd part especially, being able to like look at that side profile, I definitely see that. I feel like
Yeah.
that's going to be Paul Rudd and Ant-Man.
Oh, yeah.
I see that coming up.
Absolutely. Now here we have, I don't really have an understanding. Like, there's a couple of these photos that make me want to say that Eric Northman looks like Ryan Gosling.
I agree.
But I don't know if there's enough of them that look like it. Because look, now you look at this one, it looks nothing like him.
He's got long hair and kind of like a creepy face going on right now.
Well, I mean, they're vampires in this piece of fiction, so they're probably supposed to look creepy. But they're also supposed to look handsome. I don't know. I'm not feeling it myself, and I'm actually really okay with not feeling it.
I think it's a pretty good call.
Yeah.
I'm very happy to hear
So
that.
the question is, which one's the cutest?
Which one's the cutest?
Chris, which one's the cutest? Take an opinion.
I'm going with not Bill Compton.
You're going with Eric Northman.
Eric Northman.
Okay. So occasional Ryan Gosling lookalike.
Even if like 1 out of 10 times bears a resemblance.
See, here's this photo of him in a suit. That looks pretty nice, but any guy looks better in a suit. Okay, I'm going to take counterpoint. I'm going to take Bill Compton. You know what? He reminds me of a young Kevin Spacey, and I think that that's the more attractive of the two. And plus, at this one, he's crying blood, so he's really a good actor if he's able to pull that off.
He's very emotionally invested.
Yeah, the sheer intensity
Wow.
that it takes to get there.
Yeah. I'm very impressed.
That's him. This photo of him crying blood. Hashtag cute.
Hashtag cute.
That'll do it for emails this week. And next week, holy crap, we are so excited. We got a great deal for you next week. Next week, we're going to have our first guest. Chance Espinoza from Sounds of Satellites is going to be joining us in the studio. This is awesome.
I'm incredibly excited. Chance is a dear friend of both of ours. He's a frontman in his band, Sound of Satellites, and they agreed to graciously provide our intro music. So you guys have already had a chance to kind of hear a little bit of a little slight excerpt from one of their songs on their latest album, God in Quotes.
Again, the song is Stop Trusting Me. I know, right? It's great. Off of their album, God in Quotes. Check it out on iTunes. Pick up a copy. Look for them on SoundCloud. Check them out on Facebook. Sounds of Satellites is the band. These guys are awesome. They rock. And we just love every chance that we get to go out to see them. I actually saw them at Anaheim House of Blues a little while back, but like that was one of my favorite shows because they just
Awesome.
Even though they were there amongst a bunch of other people and they weren't even headlining, in all honesty, they straight up stole the show. They are fantastic.
Nice.
Yeah, so these guys are great. Chance Espinosa, we have known him for years upon years. Great guy, hilarious fella. And so here's a couple things we're going to do for guests. You can email us specific questions just for the guest or things that will help the guest with. Ask them questions. Ask them like, hey, how do I get into music? Hey, how do I start a band? You know, how can I be funny? How many times do people make jokes about your name being Chance? Would you like the opportunity to have someone not make a joke about the possibility of your name? You know, things like that, along with other things. So yeah, he's just a great guy. He's going to be so much fun. We're going to have a great episode. In fact, Chris and I are already looking forward to it, and we just finished an episode. So please email us. The email address is askdon'tpanic@gmail.com. And if you want it to be just for Chance, add in the subject line, guest, or Chance, or Mr. Espinoza, or Dr. Chankus Darby. Any of those things, we're going to know that you want to talk to Chance directly, and we'll save them up and ask him the best questions, okay? So please be hitting us up with emails for that. So speaking of how to contact us, here are the many ways that you can listen in, that you can share us with your friends, that you can contact us. So, great news. We already announced it at the beginning of the show, but in case you missed it, we are on iTunes now. We are officially a podcast on iTunes. Check us out. Don't Panic, or Don't Panic, the Bad Advice Podcast. You know, search us up. You'll find us. We'll put a link. Oh, by the way, we also have a Tumblr that we're starting up. askdon'tpanic.tumblr.com.
Love it.
There you go. I'll have updates on there and stuff like that. Links to other things. So whenever we have a guest, we'll add links to all their stuff, maybe concert dates for Chance's band, and the like. And you can always hit us up on our email address, askdon'tpanic@gmail.com. You can hit us up on Instagram @askdon'tpanic. Hit us up on Twitter @askdon'tpanic. That's the dealio, yo. And so, Chris, I wanted to end today with a Twitter question. I found it last night, and it was while I was suffering from insomnia. Fun question here. @SummerJDean. Why is it so hard for things to happen which things were easier rather than harder? #decisions. Oh, gosh. This is where commas become important.
Also, just basic spelling.
Yeah, and actual train of thought.
No, I don't need that.
No? Okay.
No, okay.
That'll do it for us here at Don't Panic. I'm Brandon.
I'm Chris.
Don't panic. We got you covered.